Welcome back to Monday's episode on Monday. Well, as you can tell, I'm not holding the camera. He's back.
I'm back.
How did you enjoy it?
It was absolutely brilliant. Loved
Really?
it. Yeah.
Not much of a tan, but then
No, but I don't
you're
tan.
not a big tan man.
Given up on tanning.
Really?
Yeah.
Calling it a day.
Yeah, it used to be burn, brown for 2 days, back to white. But now
Oh, it's just right with white with a little hint of red.
Yeah. Stay white.
Nice
keep
though,
the
mate, was
sun
it?
cream on. Yeah, it was lovely.
Went a bit too quick, I expect, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It just flew by. But yeah, it's really good.
Well, it's good to have you back, mate, anyway.
Good to be back.
Ideal. And what a job to come back to.
Yeah.
We've been excited about this, haven't we? I mean, how you can get excited about a transit engine, I do not know.
It's interesting because they're a controversial engine, aren't they?
They are.
Rightly so as well.
It is very controversial. It's an engine that we know has renowned issues.
Yeah.
But it's all a bit too new for us to start getting in amongst, or has been, until now. And now looks like we're going to be inundated with the bloody things, providing we can get the bits, though. So far, mate, you got the front pulley off, which was a bit of a mission on its own.
Yeah, it's just quite a tight slide fit on the crank, but I wasn't sure. Thought it might have been on a taper, but it obviously isn't. It was just quite a tight.
Just a bit of a tight fit and a bit awkward to get the old grippers behind
it. On it.
So far, we've got the front timing cover off, which you have to obviously destroy to get off.
Yeah, you do.
That's fine.
Peel it
and
off.
we've got the cam carrier stroke rocker cover off.
Yeah.
So that's the cover that holds the cams as well as act as a cam rocker cover. So this thing has done what most of these 2 litres are renowned for. It looks like if you stick to the, even if you stick to the service interval, which is about 2 years or 20,000 miles, probably about a year and 10,000 miles too long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They've got a wet belt, which means the cam belt, thin, isn't it?
Very thin.
Runs in the oil, and if you leave it too long, then I think they go a bit brittle.
It looks like it. That one's staying in sort of triangular shape, isn't it?
Staying in the position it come off. Distinctly plastic. It rips some teeth off, and this one has done exactly that, mate. So if you pull it like that, you can see that it's ripped more teeth off than it's got left. And being the sort of hard plastic that they've become, we can just see from in here, look, there's bits of teeth everywhere.
Lying around.
So obviously they go down into the sump, block up the oil filter, or the oil pickup, sorry. And as you can imagine, eventually it's going to starve the engine of oil. But what tends to happen is if it strips enough teeth off, it jumps the time in. These are your usual pressed on lobes onto the hollow cam. You pointed out there, you can see that one's turned straight away.
Yeah, so that one should be in the same position as that one.
Yeah, you would have thought.
He's pushed it right round.
So it's going to be a pair of cams, and it turns the cams, and this is what we found underneath.
Nice bit of carnage in there.
Lovely jubbly.
Some lovely broken rockers.
Smashed them all up, innit?
Yep.
Made a right old mess. Weirdly, though, when we've had this on a lot of stuff, because it takes the shock through the rockers and breaks all the rockers, we've had it before where even the valves ain't bent, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you probably find that some, if not all of them, these valves are not bent.
Just
then again,
noticed
it might be.
It's not that bad under here because there is one rocker left.
That's a plus. But I don't think we're going to keep that, are we?
Probably not.
No. So it's going to be a new set of hydraulics, lifters, 2 new cams, and then we don't know what's happened down below.
Yeah, we'll have to find out.
And I'm sure that Chris said he's had the sump off this and it don't look good.
No.
Or, I don't know, we'll see. Another problem with these, we can get all the bits, fortunately, but apparently my supplier says that they list 2 different pistons for these, an early type, which you can get, and a later type, which they call a skeleton piston.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. And they are not so easy to get. especially in oversized. So we're going to hope that it
Okay,
hasn't
wait
damaged the
and
bore
see.
or something.
Yeah.
So next step would be to get the head off this, mate, and see what pistons it's got in it.
Yes.
Hopefully the earlier type. So yeah, this is a bit of a learning curve for us, isn't it? This one.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, we saw a block for one of these. Gimbal's given up already. Might have to switch to the old
Oh no!
static.
Giving it the
thingy.
okey cokey in a minute.
But yeah, we've
Get
seen
your
one of these
seasickness
blocks.
tablets out. I suppose on the plus side, the cylinder head looks fairly basic, doesn't it? It's a nice simple
Yeah.
head, that.
Yeah,
So
I think we might have seen a few of those as well, or
Yeah.
John will have.
So we shall see, mate, when we get it apart, isn't it? You first thing this morning, you balanced the Cosworth for me,
Yeah,
so I can crack on with that tomorrow when John's polished it. He's been busy just finishing this Perkins, so I didn't realise that he hadn't torqued the head down. But as you can see now, look, he's torqued it down.
yeah.
Push
100
rods
foot
are in.
pound it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's enough. Push rods are in, so I expect rocker assembly on. Rocker cover. Job's good, isn't it?
That is one big motor in it when it's built up.
It's heavy. The bloody sump on its own, man, is a two-man job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, proper heavy, that. So that'll be ready this week, won't it? Rabbit in the
Sneaky
head.
little devil, aren't you?
Rabbit in the
Sorry,
headlights.
Yeah. I'll get a little cork out of that.
Oh, ideal. Cheers, John.
Down here, mate, I'm doing a little. Better get the old glasses, and I can't
Yeah,
go anywhere
definitely.
near that without the safety glasses.
I'll grab
Bear
I'll grab
with.
some as well. Another manifold.
So I've got a manifold here, mate. Don't even ask me what it's off, because I ain't got a clue. But this is one of them. It's a little bit tricky to set up.
Right.
So it's not once particularly bent, this one, but it was sort of dipped down in between cylinders where it's been blowing for quite some time. So I've done my Heath Robinson, set it up the best I can, and this looks like it's the final cut.
Ideal. So you've got to go width-ways. You've got to have 2 passes along here per cut, sort of thing.
Yeah, because it's like a 30mm cutter, so we do it in 2 passes, and then I just go over the centre of the pass just to make sure that there's no
No sort of bulge or anything.
no bulge there, because obviously you have to set the cutter a bit like that, so it only cuts on the front edge.
Yeah.
And what that does is very slightly it makes the
bit
cutter
bowed.
cut like that.
Yeah.
So obviously exaggerated. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, mate. But this morning I came in. You obviously from holiday have seen me videos on the old.
Yeah, seen what's been going on.
Seen what's been going on there, mate. That seems to be sorted.
Yeah.
All the viewers helped me out there greatly.
Yeah, they
I know,
do.
supported
Big
us. So yeah, that one seems to be sorted, mate. Water under the bridge, as they say.
Yeah.
But we did come in this morning to a bit of a surprising letter
Oh yeah.
this morning. So last week we were due to have an engine in that I did speak about in a few videos ago, didn't I? About
Yeah.
a Cosworth that we built about 15 months ago or something like that. The owner reported back that it's been burning oil
Right.
and using oil, smoking, all this jazz from about 200 miles. So obviously 200 miles it won't run in. Very unusual for a Cosy. Usually when you build them, I mean I've built loads of them, and usually from the word go they might smoke a little bit for a few miles, but certainly not hundreds of miles. So I've basically sent him on his way, said look, finish the running in process, see what happens. We've obviously been liaising on the phone. He was very reasonable, in fairness. We sort of got on fine, and I've suggested a few things. He's changed the oil, this, that, the other, to no avail. So we had it back in October.
Yeah.
He took the engine out, sent it back to us. We stripped it. We did two or three videos. I'll
Showing
put
what
the
we
links
found.
in this one, actually, in the description. to one or two of the videos that we did back in October on that particular engine, saying what we found, and we didn't find anything wrong with it, did we?
No, all measured nicely. It was...
Yeah, all the bores I was half expecting to look glazed, because usually if it's been bore washing, then that could be a problem as to why it's not running and the rings ain't bedding on early days. Rings look, the rings look fine, the bores look fine, so we just run the deglazer down, put another set of rings in just while we were at it. We obviously stripped it completely, checked everything, checked all the head out, obviously had new guides, couldn't find anything wrong with it. So customer had it back, and then over the last year, on and off, obviously he doesn't use it too much, he said that it's using all, sometimes he said it's worse than others, so I'll speak to him regarding another job, and he'll say that it ain't too bad, then another time he'll say it's horrendous. So this has been going on and on. Obviously it's winter now, he's peed off with it, which is fair enough if is doing what he's saying it's doing. And then we've agreed, I said, well, the next stage is we need to, if the engine's got to come out again, you want us to check it, then really you may as well pull the head off. He was fine with that. He said, yeah, I'll whip the head off. And I said, I can get it sent to CTM to get like a third set of eyes on it, really, just to see what they think. So that was the agreement. So he took the head off. He then had apparently he had a local engine reconditioners look at the bores, and when he took the head off, he said immediately the bores looked like they were rough as a badger's ass. So he said the guy agreed with him. It looked like it had been bored but not honed. So then they come to the conclusion that I'd bored it, but I didn't leave enough room to hone it. Therefore, I'm assuming that they're saying I didn't hone it. But that ain't the engine we had in here in October then, because that was fine.
Well, I saw the boards on that and it was perfect.
Yeah, so initially he said it was there, and do you want him to just do the boring, and I didn't really think about it. I said, yeah, obviously we want to rectify it if it's something to do with us. But then, having spoke to John, I've gone back to him the next day and said, listen, we need to have that engine back, don't we?
Yeah, we do, really. With an issue like that, we need to see it.
As the sort of few days went on, this was going over email now, was getting it all in email, so it's all sort of in writing. And he said that, he turned around and said that he'd lost confidence in us. He wanted someone else to do it, and he wanted us to pay the bill or his money back. So I was off. He's rang up for me, spoke to John, and John has said, listen, I think John persuaded him to say, listen, we haven't seen this engine yet. As far as we're concerned, it's like what you're saying may be true. We're not saying it's not, but we do need to see it if it's under a warranty. He agreed with that. He said, I'm going to take it out because he's going to restore the underside of the car anyway. He was due to send the engine in last week. It didn't turn up, and sure enough, this morning I've come in. There's a letter on my desk stating everything he said before we agreed for him to bring it back, that he's given us two options at the end. He said that he's given me two options. One, he said he wants the full refund of the original amount, and the second option, he said he wants to send it to some other engine reconditioner to get it built, and that was it. So what he meant by that, I'm assuming he meant by that he wants us to pay for their bill. He didn't say that, but he just said he'll send it, so I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if he wants any sort of warranty, refund, cover in any sort of way, he's going to have to send it back here first.
He's got to.
That's part of the terms of the warranty.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I've spoke to a solicitor this afternoon about it. I'm just going to leave it to them really to deal with. But they've said, under this Consumer Rights Act, it works both ways. At the end of the day, as far as we're concerned, at the moment, it's all hearsay. We haven't seen an engine. This engine don't exist.
No, we don't know if it's the same one we did.
You can't start sending stupid amounts of money or any amounts of money for something you haven't seen. There's no proof. And if it's under a warranty, we need to rectify it. We've had it back once, yes, but there was nothing to actually rectify.
No,
we didn't.
we
It wasn't a
just
failure
inspected
of
it
rectification.
Yeah.
We checked it. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know, he could have sent an independent engineer in here to have a third, you know, to get a report on it, whatever. But he didn't. He took our word for it. There was nothing wrong with it. We're not going to strip it to a million bits and then not rectify anything that's clearly obvious.
No.
So yeah, a bit of a weird one, really, mate.
Yeah. The bottom line with the whole thing is that nothing's going to happen until we've seen it.
No. I mean, in Simpleman's terms, if I'd gone to Tesco and bought a chicken,
Yeah.
and that chicken ain't no good, I can't then ring them up and say I want my money back for this chicken, so I can go and buy another one at Asda, am I? What are they going to turn around and say? We want to see your chicken, didn't they? Basically.
Yeah, they're not going to give you a voucher to go around Asda without returning your chicken.
We need to see the chicken.
We do.
Really.
We need our chicken back.
At the moment, there ain't no chicken. We could be talking about any chicken,
Yeah, we could.
you know. So we need to identify the chicken before we go to Asda.
Yes.
So, but there we go. See what you think, guys. I don't know.
I think we might have lost them at the end there.
Maybe. Just trying to make it simple.
No.
I don't know whether it is. I ain't going to bore them anymore, mate. We're going to leave it at that. It's nice to have you back.
Nice to be
Nice
back.
to have someone else holding the camera, and it's probably more pleasant for them. So we'll
Well,
leave
that's
it.
until my gimbal gives up, but
Oh God, yeah. Batteries are running low. Are we still on this thing? Yes.
Just
Good
about.
news.
all the equipment is failing.
Nothing worse than when you've done 16 minutes of video and the mics ain't been on. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Until Wednesday's video. See you later.